Right, so this is part one of many videos I'm going to do about different configurations of the figure 4 Deadfall trap, and more specifically the figure Deadfall trap trigger. Because to be honest, right off the top of my head I could probably think of 10 or 15 straight away, and there's probably many more that I've never seen before. You know, most people might just think a figure 4 is a figure 4, but they're not. You know, there's many different ways of setting them up, many different ways of carving the notches, and I'm going to cover as many of them as I can. So first thing I wanted to say was, so far as I know, the earliest or the oldest mention of a figure 4 type trap I could find was in Leonard Maskell's book, the Book of Engines, Traps and the other, other such things. And that is written over 400 years ago. But he didn't call his a figure 4 Deadfall trap in it. He called his a Samson's Post trap, or a Samson's Post for rats. But when you look at the picture, it is, I'm pretty sure, a figure 4 trap. But I noticed that whoever's drawn the picture seems to have drawn it slightly wrong, where it doesn't look quite right. But you could tell it's a figure 4. I'll show you that picture now. So as you can see from the picture, it definitely looks like a figure 4. So that is over 400 years old. Now, like I said, that is called a Samson's Post Deadfall trap. Now I've seen several other books with traps which are either similar to a figure 4 or they're Deadfall type traps, called the Samson's Post Deadfall traps. I've seen it in numerous books. Some of them are figure 4, some of them aren't. But I started to think something about the Samson's Post trap as well, and possibly where that name comes from. And I think that may come from the biblical story of Samson and Delilah, because at the end Samson is caught and put into like a big hall kind of thing, and he says, "Can I lean against these pillars?" And when he pulls the pillars, either pulls them or pushes them apart or pulls them together, pulls the pillars down which is holding the roof, and then down comes the roof and kills everyone including himself. So that's where I think the term Samson's Post comes from, which makes sense. You know, you've got a deadfall, which is your roof, you've got your post, your pillar, and when the animal knocks it, the roof comes down. So that's definitely where Samson's Post comes from. But like I said, the earliest figure 4 I could see, definitely, it looks like a figure 4, but it's called a Samson's Post. So what I thought I would do is start off with the most common figure 4 trap, which most people know and which most people see, and that is basically the one or the type you would see in numerous survival books, including the SAS Survival Handbook, numerous other ones, and it's just the usual one carved out of sticks. So we'll have a look at that and I'll just show you it. Right, so we've got that here. This is like your kind of classic figure 4 made out of sticks. These two parts in the middle are two square cuts which lock into each other like that. This is your upright one. This is kind of your bait stick. One end is shaved to a point for sticking bait on. The back end has got a notch cut there, if you can see that. And that one is to accept the end of this one, which is just 2 points kind of cut like that. And then we've got just a bit of a cut here which fits on there, and it all fits together nicely like that. Now
I don't rate this version very much. There's much better ways of doing it than this, because to be honest, if all the pieces of this are carved too tight, these types of figure four really just stick together, especially if you get this bit wrong. If these are too tight, it just sticks together, and sometimes they can stick so hard that no matter how much you push it down, it will never go off. It has to be pushed sideways. And not all animals are going to push things sideways, but most animals will accidentally knock something down by standing on it, or, you know, pulling at a bit of bait. But the way these are, if it pulled it sideways, it could pull itself, you know, free out of the trap before it even goes off. But like I said, it's your classic version. I know numerous other versions, which I will definitely show you. But I thought, like I said, we'll have a look at this, the classic one first. So I'll set it up, and then we'll give it a few knocks of a stick, see how easy it goes off or whatever. Even these, there's other kind of ways you can set them up. I've seen people mention that you should set them up so they're more like that, you know, rather than how it is like that, you see. Have your notches slightly different. All manner of different ways to do them, but also, you know, you can carve these out of square wood, round wood, you know, flat wood. Ones where trigger goes off by pushing down more specifically. You know, hinged ones with bolts in them, things like that. Loads and loads of different ones, which we will get onto. But like I said, this is part one. The good thing about these types of figure fours, they are pretty easy to set up. And you can just set them up by hand and hold them in place, ready set like this. So if you can get them in there, if you can get that holding, you can get it there and then just put it in place. That's one good thing about it. Like I said, this is just your classic figure four, the one you would see in nearly all kind of survival books. Well, setting, very easy. Like I said, as long as there's not too much weight on them and your bits are fairly loose, they'll be right. But if they're all too tight and there's a lot of weight, it can just lock it all together and then nothing even will go off, even if you banged it with a stick. So I'll give it a couple of knocks down and see how well it will go off. So your bait would be on there. As you can see, going straight down, it's not so great. It really wants to go sideways. It is half hanging out already. There we go. Whereas there's other figure four Deadfalls which one touch and that will definitely come off. And there's even ones where you can set them up where you've got a treadle plate on the bottom. Some people have already seen some of these before. You're going to see them again, and others haven't seen any of these ones. Like I said, nice and easy to set up. Because you can just get it together like that, hold it in place, get it in, and then give it its final bit of adjustment. Try a sideways push. Goes off a bit better. But anyway, that's your classic figure four. Most people have probably seen that one before. Most people have tried it. this is part 1. I'll be doing quite a few parts, I reckon, of this. I know quite a lot of different ones. There's some I haven't shown yet because I was trying to think of a way to show them. This is going to be the perfect opportunity for me to show you numerous different styles of figure 4. I think there's going to be quite a lot of them, what I can think of. Right, anyway, cheers for watching, and I'll see you later.